Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Monday, which means it is time for another episode of Nozz Watches Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'm going to make a defense build. It's a really long fucking time. Like, Japan, can you, fucking institute a fucking character limit on your titles? Okay, thank you. Oh god, I don't want to piss myself, so I isekai'd myself into a game where nobody has genitals. God, now that I've said that, that exists. But in the last episode of Bofuri, well, our girl started playing with a friend. She was the Battle Royale last episode or the episode before? Shit, I forget. Well, yeah, the Battle Royale happened. I don't remember if that was last episode or before. She made a Freudian slip about taking a pounding. And that was great. Sally started playing, and then they went and they found a new dungeon. Sally soloed it and got a set of sick new armor. So which I guess means that, oh boy, this game really isn't balanced for solo play, huh? Or, sorry, isn't balanced for group play, because, oh boy, unless, of course, the boss scales for how many people are fighting it, but then, what's the point? But we basically established this game as early access and the devs don't know what the fuck they're doing. That or they're lazy as hell. So, let's get in here and see what else they break, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, and go! Kadokawa. Oh boy, straight up, yeah, it hasn't been said in game, but you guys. Oh yeah, and there's a new world opening up, a new zone. Okay, so yeah, so they nerfed the fuck out of her. Wait, they made 10 times a day. They made it work like fucking D&D, but it's an MMO. So real world days. But I mean, they're not changing her character, so she still exists. I don't I don't get that thought process there, my dude. That's adorable. See, I feel like out of spite now, she's going to just start, not even out of, I don't think she's capable of spite, actually. I feel like out of Cade's equivalent of spite, she's just going to dump more and more into defense and become immortal again. Like, oh boy. Fucking, still, that does kind of show that they're kind of shitty developers. They released an entire patch just to fuck one player over who was just playing the game. It wasn't she like she was doing exploits or anything. Nah, she just discovered a way to play the game that makes her fucking immortal. Instead of making everybody else stronger, they make her weaker. I'ma just say that I don't know. I mean, okay, so there's different philosophies on this, but I'm personally of the belief that it's better to buff things than it is to nerf things. Like, there are examples. There's okay, yeah, no, this thing is doing so much damage, it is just fucking murdering everything. But for like a single like instance where it's like, okay, so this is just blowing past everything. Like, you got like an entire world to fucking yeah. I don't think Maple's seen anything. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, oh, this one gun is like killing everything in one shot. Okay, like fucking don't nerf that gun. Buff everything else up to that gun, and basically level it out. If it's like, if it's like something like drastic, or it's like buffing things to match it would like completely fuck everything up, then okay, yeah, nerf it. But like, don't go at it with a fucking mallet. Like, come on, go with a scalpel. Like they dead ass when it K'd with a fucking mallet there, my dude. Just hit her with a bonk. Weapons are for cowards. Real men just use shields. Time to adopt them. Honestly, if I was playing a game like this, I'd want to play a character that like fought barefisted. I don't know. Like the concept of like a of a monk. That's probably like one of my most favorite fucking like melee character things. Like wizards and monks. Man, that awning over that cafe doesn't look like it fit. Look like it was an asset from another store that they just fucking rolled in. Can they even taste the food? That's what I want to know. Like, does this fucking thing simulate taste? Like, if so, it's already way more advanced than fucking Elder Tale. Holy shit. New patch instituting obesity. For those of you assholes that eat too much. You know how much server space storing all these all these taste files are? Come on now. Look at this fucking villain over here, dude. This edge lord. Oh god. She's just like, no, it's fine. I just used an exploit though. I'm hoping that she finds some new busted way to build her character before that event. Like gains the ability to fly and just orbital drop onto them with her fucking shield. I still really do not like the idea that they're just like, oh yeah, no, we made a second world, like after like fucking a couple months. Like when probably a good chunk of the player base probably hasn't even seen the entire first world. Which means that they'll have nobody to play with, which means they'll have to either move on and just fucking, leave a good chunk of the game they fucking paid for unexplored, or be playing by themselves in an MMO, which is fucking sad as hell. I mean, girl can barely take damage. Come on now, she'll be fine. I want to see Maple take damage for once. He means that the monster you have to fight is coded for misogyny. The monster just appears and goes, "Women deserve less." uh... My girl's out here being a monster fucker. She's like, "Oh man, all these undead monsters, they're so adorable." Are you though? Man, I can't believe that gamer made an assumption about their gender. Oh no. Oh god. It's a fucking video game, dude. Like, look at these fucking goofy skeletons. They're fucking so goofy. They're fucking cute. She she got a draft from under the rug. What a dumb bitch. Watch they've just wandered into the fucking quest. I like how Maple's just like, "Oh, cool, neat, video game." God. Cause he's an NPC, Chungus. Fucking Fucking, like, seriously, Sally's just in here, just like, "No, no, it's so scary," and Maple's just like, "Oh, cool video game." Like, I can't fucking believe, like, how fucking dumb she is. Did she just use up all her mana? I think she did. Congrats, Sally, you killed him. So you can get skills by just getting them via through the video game planet, but you can also just go and earn them through scrolls. That's actually a pretty neat system. If the devs weren't fucking incompetent, this might actually be a decent game. Holy shit. I see she has played a lot of D&D. The solution to every problem is to throw a fireball. That's not even a joke. Fireball does so much fucking damage over such a massive area, you'd be stupid not to take it. Matter Red Mother of Pearl. What the fuck? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if they're gemstones, that makes sense if they're used as materials. God. Fucking VR MMOs would be like this fucking top peak of just, "Hey, yeah, now here's a piece of trash I'm supposed to vendor that just looks cool. I'm gonna keep hold of it." Man, I hope like eventually we manage to hit this level of immersion with fucking MMOs. Y'all'd never see me again. Imagine if the water did damage when it touched Sally because her defense is so low. You guys have barely even seen the first zone, and you're just like, "Nah, alright, fuck this place, never coming back." Is a piggy. Yep. No more devour for you. Like, why not? Like, why limit it to like real world time? Why not just decrease like decrease the amount of devour you can why not decrease just like sorry, like so I'm assuming that like it kills people based on how much HP they have, right? So like if someone has like 50 HP, they just get got, right? Why not make it so devour only works on somebody who's got less than half their health remaining? Or less than 30%, you know? So like you do damage to people and you fucking wear them down and then you hit them with a devour and if they got less than 30% health, they just get killed and go in the sewer shield and then make it not work on boss enemies. Like that seems like a better way to do that. Make me like if something's strong enough or has enough health, it just doesn't get devoured. It resists the shield. Like it seems like a very simple fix that because the ability is still broken overpowered. You just gotta shields like it's still broken overpowered. You just gotta fucking like wait. You just gotta wait 24 hours between usages. And 10 uses is still a lot. Especially if it's a one-hit move. Like, Maple straight up got the easiest fucking, like, tanking role in any video game ever. Maple just out here being like, yeah, I'll tank, I'll just stand here and cuss him out. Still can't believe that she's been able to fucking, like, just win with fucking 2 moves. She uses Devour to get those gems, and then uses Hydra, and she can burn one of those gems to fucking make Hydra even stronger. Girl only needs 2 fucking abilities. And she could, like, fucking 2-shot most bosses. I think she's already kind of broken. Got a video game that can make you go unconscious. That sounds like a liability suit waiting to happen. Because imagine if players could knock you unconscious. Because if you're unconscious, you ain't logging out. God, like that sounds like a way to just commit crimes. Someone's live streaming, knock them out. Twitch eventually bans them and fucking deletes their fucking channel for being unconscious on stream. Yeah, she was straight unconscious. She was straight unconscious for that entire thing. Oh, God. Ah, you came to the second level too. Well, yes, because there's nobody left in the first world. God, so she had to fucking pick up and move her entire shop. I sure hope making a shop doesn't require money, because that's bullshit. Like, she put down money on getting that fucking shop together, and now she's like, well, shit, now I have to go to a complete different area. It's probably got shittier stats, too. Your playstyle of cowering behind your shield and taking no damage. I mean, I imagine she's probably not gonna use it because I highly doubt that Snow White is in any way better than her fucking Hydra gear. A romantic dinner between I mean friends. Be our guest, put our service to the test. Ah, yes, Star Piss, the most delicious of all beverages. Piece of sky? Oh my god, it tastes like supernova. I can feel the stellar radiation tearing my cells apart. Oh no, it's a hair dye potion. Oh shit, oh fuck. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's one of those fucking things where it's like, nah, you fool. So who got the super speed? They gave that to Maple, right? Because, I mean, Sally's already super fucking fast. God, her shield does not match her color scheme. Ah, Balls Deep 69! Oh, so that's why she's, okay. Because Devour, so Devour just goes off automatically on the other shield. That's kind of weird, but okay. Alright, fair enough. So, why does she look like Red Astolfo? Why is she just Red Astolfo? Does she also have a penis? Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not alone on that, right? It looks like Red Astolfo. Her name is Me. She comes from the land of Nintendo. Bum 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 bum. Okay, well that's pretty standard MMO fare. Alright then, fair enough. Yeah, murder players for their medals. Be ready to stab the other players. Murder them to death. Is someone good luck, Maple? Yeah, someone's wishing her good luck. Oh god, fucking yeah. Like So by the way, this isn't a criticism of the show, but my god, I feel like the main fucking adversarial force in the show is the fucking developers' incompetence. Like, you know what the dumb thing is? Maple wasn't even all that powerful when you think about it. Everybody just threw themselves at her like idiots, like lemmings. Like, yeah, Maple had like the Hydra for a range attack. She had the paralyzing shout. She had Devour if you hit her shield. But you know what nobody ever fucking tried to use on her? Status effects. She was immune to poison, but I guarantee you she was not immune to paralysis, she was not immune to sleep, and she wasn't immune to anything else. Put her to sleep, and then while she's asleep, stab her to death. That, like... Now, yeah, she'd dominate in PvE until they, ran into bosses that fucking could put those status effects on her. But... Still wasn't all that unbeatable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, what I think they probably should have done is they probably should have made it so, like, Devour is a really stupidly designed ability. Like, something at full health hits her shield, it dies. That's dumb. It would work. It's like a shield spike on meth. Like, ideally, what I would do is I would have it work like Hammer of Wrath in World of Warcraft, or Execute in Star Wars. Like, so in, I guess Star Wars is better because it'd be a melee attack. So in Star Wars, the Sith Juggernaut gets, I think it's the Sith Juggernaut. It might be the Marauder, but they're the same base classes, whatever. Maybe they both get it. They get an ability called Execute. So whenever an enemy is brought below 30%, they can swing their sabers in an attempt to kill the enemy. For most, like, basic bitch enemies, it will just kill in one, right? But for bosses, it'll just do a fuck ton of damage. And that's the main thing. You get your enemy down to 30%, hit Execute, job done, move on to the next enemy. Which is very useful in Star Wars since most enemies are fought in groups, right? So that's what makes the warrior classes very useful, because just like you're fighting like 10 guys, get one guy down to 30%, Execute, okay, now you're fighting 9 guys, repeat, etc. Right? So why not like nerf Devour so it works like that? Like, Devour can only trigger against an enemy that has 30% or less HP. That way, Maple needs to actually do damage and wear them down first. Like, her Hydra is a good ability, but it's not one-shotting anyone. The only people it seemed to one-shot was, like, the fucking Scrublets. Like, and even then, it looked like she's only really one-shotting them after she got a couple Devours in and got the crystals that she could use to buff it. Like, that really does seem like something that you could... that nerfing Devour in that way would also nerf Hydra, because then that would mean that the only way for her to gain the ability to buff Hydra is to kill something that she's already done a decent amount of damage to. Like, this whole, like, running it like D&D, where, like, oh, you can use it at its full power, but you can only use it 10 times fucking 10 dead things is still a lot of dead things. Especially when she can then turn those Devours around to 10, like, fucking double or fucking triple damage Hydras. Like, come on now. That's sus as fuck. Like, yeah, like I think that the main antagonistic force of the show is the fucking incompetence of the people making the video game that they're in. That's kind of silly, but not, once again, because this is kind of like a comedy show, so like it works. It's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. I do kind of wonder what the show would be like if the devs were actually competent. Like, like if Maple was, like, instead of just using the fact that they don't know how to fucking program a progression system, make it so that Maple is using, like, exploits. Like, even if she's doing it by accident, that'd probably be a lot more fun. Because then, like, it's actual real antagonism instead of just incompetence being met with other incompetence, Like, Maple is so incompetent that she bumblefucked her way into min-maxing. And just fucking tore everything apart. Jeez. Let's see. I mean, like, the fact that they, like, yeah, I already said my bit on, like, nerfing versus buffing. I really wish they would have buffed everybody else instead of just nerfing Maple. That's kind of silly. Because that feels very targeted against the player, and that's a very good way to... Well, that's a very good way for, like, someone who's not Maple, if they got specifically targeted to be nerfed because they played the game too good. Like, imagine... Like, I know nobody ever wants to think of this guy ever because he's a sack of fucking garbage, but imagine if Ninja fucking playing Fortnite or whatever the fuck had like he found a way to beat the game super consistently using a mechanic that he figured out, right? Like fucking I don't know, like dropping over a certain point in the map, yeah, at a certain point where he would always land right as like this super powerful weapon spawned, right? Like this weapon that was super overtuned. Like, and it was only him that was doing it. If then Epic went and they nerfed that specific weapon at that specific point in the map at that specific time frame, Ninja would rightly feel like he's being targeted, and being the giant sack of fucking human garbage that he is, he would go to every single fucking game journalism page and he would put Epic on blast, say that they are unfairly fucking going against him, da 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 da. But instead, if Epic would get bad press and people would stop playing Fortnite, thank God. But if then instead Epic turned around and they made it so that that thing was then easier to replicate, or they scaled everything else up so that it more or less matched it, now Ninja no longer has an advantage. He has not seen any decrease in power, but everybody else has seen an increase in power in order to contend with this busted ass fucking strategy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly a one-to-one thing. I was just mostly thinking, like, who's the scummiest, most fucking attention-grabbing ass asshole I could think of, and that was the first person I could think of. So, whoops. They also needed to be somewhat good at the game they were playing. So my first thought was Darkside Phil, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, that guy... I don't think that guy and Skill have ever been within the same zip code of each other, so... But yeah, like, that's one of those. That's the kind of thing, you know. Like the fact that this did not backfire on them horribly is based entirely around the fact that Maple is too good natured to fucking get upset that she got targeted. Like, yeah, but so lucky them that they fucking got outsmarted by an idiot. Them simulating actual food and having like places to go eat, that's a really neat touch though. Something that like shows a lot of care and detail that honestly does not fucking like, did they have like a separate team on the restaurants and everything, and they're like really in touch and they got like this set perfectly down? It seems like everything that's not combat or skill related is like fucking top fucking tier. Like, did these guys come from fucking, like, Habbo Hotel and go like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make a combat MMO? Does anybody know how to do combat? Shit, we'll figure it out as we go. You make those strawberry shortcakes fucking delicious. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of weird. I feel like there was more to the spooky zombie quest that we didn't get to see. That really does feel like that was cut down. Not sure about that, but I don't know, people who have read the manga, read the light novel, wherever the fuck this comes from, let me know, because that really does feel like I got cut the fuck down. The dungeon to go through into the next zone, I'm not gonna lie, it was, like, I was expecting that, like, so my thought was, okay, well, if they're releasing this new area, and they're putting a raid in front of it, then clearly they're trying to make it so that people don't just load in, blitz through, go to the next zone, and never touch this fucking first area that they probably spent thousands of fucking dollars on, right? Because it's an MMO, it's an MMO, but a fully realized one that has to exist in logical space. Regular MMO zones are expensive. Something that detailed has to be fucking, like, higher than the GDP of some countries. So I would have thought that, like, okay, they'll make this dungeon really fucking difficult to the point where you need to have basically beaten every other raid in Zone 1 in order to do it, right? But no, they just kind of blitz on through to the next zone, and now nobody is going to go back to Zone 1. Like, even the people who ran, like, play-your-own shops have gone like, yeah, nah, fuck that, I'm going on to the next area. So now any player that comes in, they're not going to be able to find a group. They're not going to be able to use any stores. They're not going to be able to do anything. They're basically bisecting their player base. And that's really weird. I don't know. Like, that boss seemed way too fucking easy. These girls are, like, what, like, below level 10? Like, they're sub-level 10. And they just fucking blitzed out a fucking like a boss that was supposed to be the way into the next fucking zone. Isn't the current level cap 20? So they're only half the level cap. Like, and they're into a fucking zone that was probably intended for level 20s. So are level 20s just being really fucking bored? Or does the level cap increase by another 10 when they get into the next zone? And if that's the case, how the fuck are Maple and Sally, like, realistically expected to survive? I mean, I know it's going to be because, like, fucking Maple is immortal, but there you go. Like, yeah, like, and also fucking the second event is only happening in Zone 2. So that means anybody new that starts playing gets shafted on events. Like, you guys see how this becomes a problem, right? I know, like, it's a comedy anime, Nozz, shut the fuck up. Like, it doesn't matter, but matters to me, though, because the world's internally inconsistent. Like, we drag fucking Sword Art Online through the mud for this exact same fucking reason, but, like, this level of developer incompetence is baffling. Like, I get the whole idea is that the game is poorly balanced, and that's why Maple can do what she do, but, like, there's a difference between game balance and actual, like, killing your fucking game in the womb. Like, they might as well just be taking a fucking pillow and putting it over the server. I don't know. Like, that's definitely the thing is not internally consistent, and that is a bit of a problem. I'm hoping that, like, that a lot of the issues I'm seeing is stuff that is either explained away in the original, and just it's not addressed here because of time, or that it's addressed later, you know, like maybe the game starts to fucking die and like the game just starts restructuring because they're like, oh shit, damage control. But yeah, like that's the main problems I'm seeing here. But narrative wise and like hanging out with Maple, like fucking Cade and Sally are fucking great. I love them. They're great. Pardon me. I think the only thing I have issue with in this show, it isn't the main story itself, it's the implied sub-story of the game itself, you know? Like, that, like, it bugs me to no fucking end. Like, because you have all this cool shit that fucking Cade and Sally are getting up to, and then just the setting in which they're doing it just makes no fucking sense from like a logical gameplay perspective. But, yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Like, good show, but they lean too heavily on the whole developers are idiots thing. Especially because it doesn't look like it's being played for a joke. It looks like they're actually just playing like an actual really, really poorly put together game. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like a meta commentary on like Sword Art Online or whatever, but oh boy, like you don't satirize something by just doing that thing. That's the thing. I'm very concerned that later on the story's going to turn into, yeah, the game doesn't fucking work, and that's going to be the entire fucking plot thread. I am concerned that that's going to become a thing. Because in order to have an isekai where, and I know it's not a true isekai, but you know what I mean. In order to have like a fucking isekai thing, like, set in a video game, like, most isekai authors are really bad at game design. But the thing is, though, like, the game, like, at least, the game, if, like, the game doesn't draw attention to the fact that the game doesn't work, you have to, at least, in order to look at, like, fucking Sword Art Online, the game, in the show, like, you need to basically be looking at background details. You need to be looking at the way the game is designed, you need to be looking at, like, the UI, you need to be looking at, like, basically offhand conversations about game mechanics, like, it's not, like, up there in your face, like, hey, this is bad, look at this, it's fucking stupid, but, like, the main plot point of this show is that the game is so poorly balanced that it allowed one player who doesn't know anything about video games to become immortal. So, that's funny, but then you add in like a bunch of stuff like that's like tangential to the arc of the plot that is like that is like just a blatant like, oh no, that's bad. Like it becomes less like I don't want to say forgivable because it's not forgivable in Sword Art either, but like at least in Sword Art it doesn't impact the story. It being a game is irrelevant, but it being a game is the entire point here. I think I got my point across like 5 minutes ago, and I've just been rambling, so I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, good show, makes me nervous. So let me know what you thought of this down there in the comments. Whether you liked it, you disliked it, agree with me, disagree with me, or you want to bring up something that I left out, because that's entirely possible. Oh boy. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share social media, tell your friends, hit that share button down below on the Facebook and the Twitter and the fucking whatever the fuck else the kids are using today, the TikToks. I don't fucking know. What the fuck even is TikTok? I don't even. And if you want, you can always support me on Patreon, which is linked in the description and on the end card, along with a list of all the people that keep the show up and running and keep me alive in this fun time that we're all living in. There's also some goodies you get other than being on that list, but that's all listed on the Patreon page. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, so as always, I am Nozz, and I'll see you in the next video, but most importantly of all, become a trash mammal today. And I will see you around the